Okay, so it seems like every few months, a new car hits the market with auto start-stop technology as a standard feature. Years ago, only premium hybrids would shut off at stoplights, and that was considered innovative. Then economy cars started including it, then SUVs, and now nearly every new vehicle on the lot comes with this engine-killing feature. Back in 2016, only 9% of vehicles had this technology. By 2022, that number exploded to 65% of all new cars sold. The technology keeps spreading despite the fact that when you look at any online forum or video about auto start-stop, the comments are universally negative. I hate this feature. It's going to destroy my starter. Good luck with your engine after a year of this. People across the board seem convinced there's no way this can be good for your car, which got me thinking. If this is true, then why would manufacturers keep implementing it? Is auto start-stop actually ruining your car? So I dove into it. Plenty of research, plenty of articles read, plenty of people talked to, and this is what I found. Auto start-stop technology works by detecting when your vehicle is stationary with the brake firmly pressed. It then shuts down the engine and instantly restarts it when you release pressure on the brake pedal, even before you touch the accelerator. Originally common in hybrids, this technology has now expanded to conventional vehicles as manufacturers scramble to meet increasingly strict emissions standards. The implementation details and user interface vary significantly between brands and models. In some markets, this feature is mandatory for manufacturers to comply with corporate average fuel economy standards. The auto start-stop system operates through sophisticated sensors, monitoring various conditions. Your vehicle needs to be at zero or near naked speed. The battery must have sufficient charge. If it's low, the system won't risk shutting down. Your engine also needs to be at proper operating temperature. For manual transmission vehicles, the transmission must be in neutral with the clutch released. If you're driving an automatic, the brake pedal needs to be firmly pressed. The system is even monitoring your steering to confirm you're truly stopped and not just slowing for a turn. Climate control demands can prevent engine shutdown if significant heating or cooling power is required. Let's talk about how drivers actually feel about auto start-stop systems. The numbers don't lie. One poll showed approximately 81% of users hate the feature, while only 19% love it. Many describe it as annoying, the dumbest feature on new cars, or even unsafe due to perceived delays when quick acceleration is needed. That momentary hesitation when the engine restarts can feel like an eternity when you're trying to make a quick left turn in traffic. That slight shudder as the engine fires back up can feel like something's wrong with your vehicle. The frustration becomes particularly maddening in stop-and-go traffic or during slow maneuvering in parking lots. There are legitimate safety concerns too. One Subaru owner specifically described near-accident experiences due to delays in restarting the engine when quick acceleration was needed. The inconsistency in when the engine shuts off after braking can be confusing and potentially hazardous, especially at busy intersections or with aggressive drivers nearby. We've heard reports of near rear-end collisions triggered by the system's brake light flicker. When your engine is off at an intersection or merging area, that split-second delay in restart could potentially leave you unable to respond quickly to changing traffic conditions. In hot climates, like India, the air conditioning compressor often switches off when the engine stops, leading to uncomfortable loss of cooling right when you're sitting in the heat. So why do manufacturers keep implementing this technology despite user complaints? 2 words: environmental benefits. When a vehicle's engine is completely shut off, it produces zero emissions, which reduces the collective environmental impact of thousands of vehicles idling in traffic. In the United States alone, this technology is estimated to save approximately 10 million tons of greenhouse gases annually. The technology can reduce fuel consumption during city driving by 4 to 10% or more, depending on the specific implementation and driving conditions. For a vehicle with average fuel consumption, this translates to potential annual savings of $46 to $114. The corresponding reduction in carbon dioxide emissions ranges from 81 to 202 kilograms annually. Over a 10-year period, these savings accumulate to $460 to $1,140 in fuel costs and 810 to 2,020 kilograms in carbon dioxide reductions. Contrary to common misconceptions, research by the U.S. Department of Energy has demonstrated that idling for more than 10 seconds consumes more fuel than shutting off and restarting the engine. If an engine is stopped for more than about 6 to 7 seconds, net fuel savings are realized. The experience of start-stop technology varies significantly between manual and automatic transmissions. In manual transmission vehicles, the system typically engages when the vehicle stops and you put the transmission in neutral while releasing the clutch. Restarting occurs when you press the clutch pedal, giving you more direct control over the system's operation. This implementation tends to feel more natural and less intrusive. In automatic transmission vehicles, the system activates when the vehicle stops and you apply the brake pedal, then restarts when you release the brake. This can sometimes create a noticeable lag or hesitation when moving from a stop, particularly if the system shifts to neutral and combines with hill-hold features. Now let's get into the nuts and bolts of what makes these systems work. Auto start-stop systems consist of several essential components specifically designed to withstand increased starting and electrical demands. This isn't just your standard ignition system with a few tweaks. Modern start-stop systems feature heavy-duty starters rated for approximately 200,000 start cycles. That's compared to traditional starters designed for about 40,000 cycles. Think about that difference. Your conventional starter was never designed to handle 5 times its normal workload. These auto start-stop systems also require enhanced batteries, often AGM or enhanced flooded batteries, that can handle the frequent discharge-recharge cycles without degrading. Standard batteries simply aren't built for this kind of duty cycle. The auto start-stop system also includes specialized engine components with oil-retaining bearings. This is crucial because one of the biggest concerns with frequent engine stops is maintaining proper lubrication during those critical first moments of restart. Smart electronic controls monitor various onboard systems to ensure effective and safe operation under all driving conditions. Despite manufacturer assurances, the auto start-stop system places additional stress on multiple vehicle components. The system significantly increases wear on critical parts, including the starter motor, the battery, the alternator, and engine mounts that absorb the vibration of each restart. Internal engine components also face increased wear, particularly timing chains that can stretch prematurely due to thousands of additional start cycles. Drawing from specialized experience with BMW and Mini Cooper vehicles, we've identified specific issues like the engine wiring harness in BMW 3 Series vehicles, which suffers from chafing in multiple areas due to the intense vibration during frequent engine starts. Despite these concerns, properly designed start-stop systems do not significantly damage engines over time. Manufacturers have implemented specific design elements to address potential wear issues, including more robust starters, specialized batteries, and enhanced engine lubrication systems. Engines designed for start-stop operation feature oil-retaining bearings and anti-drainback features to maintain lubrication during frequent restarts. For turbocharged engines, manufacturers have incorporated oil circulators and coolers to prevent oil degradation. However, there remain concerns about potential damage to turbochargers due to immediate engine shutdown without idle time, which can degrade turbo oil and cause early turbo failure, EGR valve fouling, and dual mass flywheel damage. The number one factor that damages engines and vehicle components is heat, and while auto start-stop systems do create additional wear cycles, properly engineered systems manage heat effectively. A common concern among drivers is that auto start-stop systems might interfere with vehicle comfort, especially climate control in extreme temperatures. Modern vehicles address this with intelligent sensors that detect when climate control is needed. If the ambient temperature is significantly higher than the interior temperature setting, the engine will continue running to maintain air conditioning. Similarly, in cold weather, if the cabin hasn't reached the desired temperature, the engine will not shut off. For drivers who prefer not to use the auto start-stop feature, most manufacturers provide a temporary disable button, typically marked with an A symbol and a circular arrow. The critical limitation is that this setting does not persist between ignition cycles. The system defaults back to enabled every time the vehicle is restarted. This design choice appears deliberate across manufacturers, with no factory setting allowing permanent disablement through normal user interfaces. Implementation varies significantly across vehicle manufacturers. Subaru's start-stop system cannot be permanently disabled through factory settings. Many Subaru owners have discovered that holding down the disable button for a few seconds may temporarily disable it for the current drive. Certain specific models from Subaru, specifically the Ascent, SUV, WRX, and BRZ, don't include this technology, offering options for buyers who strongly prefer vehicles without auto start-stop. In Honda models like the 2020 Odyssey and Passport, the feature resets with each ignition cycle. The 2024 Toyota RAV4 LE implementation includes a hood latch sensor that can be unplugged to disable the feature, though this may affect the alarm system. Ford Explorer and similar models offer forescan programming as a common solution. Some newer Ford models offer factory deletion of the feature as a paid option, with Ford moving in the opposite direction in some newer models like the 2023 Ford Ranger, offering auto start-stop as a deleted option at purchase for a small fee, about $50, acknowledging customer preference. Volkswagen Tiguan owners commonly use aftermarket modules that reverse the button's function. These are reportedly similar to what rental car companies use. Mercedes-Benz users can create personal profiles in the infotainment system to toggle off auto start-stop, though this still requires selection each time. A significant insight from multiple vehicle communities is that drivers can control auto start-stop activation through careful modulation of brake pedal pressure. By applying less than full pressure on the brake pedal when stopped, you can prevent the engine from shutting down. This technique provides a no-cost method to selectively use the feature without disabling it completely. Many drivers report training themselves to apply just enough pressure to keep the vehicle stopped without triggering the auto start-stop system. For drivers seeking permanent disablement, the aftermarket has responded with various solutions. These typically include plug-and-play devices like Auto Stop Eliminator, Idle Stopper, and Smart Stop Start, costing around $80 to $100, that interface with the vehicle's electronics to automatically disable the feature at startup. These devices are model-specific and typically installed behind the Auto Start-Stop button or in the center console area, taking 5 to 20 minutes to install and mostly involving battery harness connections or dash panel disassembly. OBDII programming tools like Forescan for Ford vehicles can access and modify vehicle computer settings. Some use the magnet trick involving attaching neodymium magnets to the current sensor on the negative battery cable to fool the system into thinking the battery is low. Let's address some common myths about start-stop technology. One common myth is that restarting an engine uses more fuel than brief idling periods, which is outdated information from carbureted engines. Another misconception is that the start-stop system causes significant engine damage due to insufficient lubrication at restart. Some believe turbochargers are particularly vulnerable to damage from frequent stops. There's also a belief that the start-stop system may accidentally shut off the engine while driving, but the multiple redundant safety conditions and sensors make this virtually impossible in properly functioning systems. Rather than relying solely on the auto start-stop system or disabling it entirely, vehicle owners can implement several alternative methods to improve fuel efficiency without increasing vehicle wear. These include reducing highway speed by approximately 10 miles per hour below typical driving speed, maintaining proper tire pressure at factory specifications, adopting gentler acceleration and deceleration habits, and utilizing cruise control on highways to maintain consistent speeds. The reception of auto start-stop systems reveals significant regional differences. In developed countries with predictable stop-start traffic like regular signals and stop signs, the system may function more as intended. However, in cities with unpredictable stop-go traffic and frequent halts, drivers find the system particularly counterproductive and irritating. Climate plays a major role in this regional variation. In hot climates, the interruption to air conditioning during engine-off periods creates significant discomfort, whereas this might be less problematic in temperate regions. Auto start-stop is often compared to other controversial automotive technologies like cylinder deactivation, for example Cadillac's 864 engine, and manual transmissions' skip-shift features, which also receive criticism. This reflects a tension between advancing technology and the driving experience preferred by many enthusiasts, suggesting manufacturers may need to better balance innovation with driver control and satisfaction. When weighing the financial benefits against potential costs, the Auto Start-Stop feature presents different value propositions depending on your vehicle ownership plans. While the system can provide meaningful fuel savings, particularly in urban driving conditions, the potential repair costs for premature component failures could offset these savings for long-term owners. Vehicles equipped with this technology use more robust, often more expensive batteries, designed to handle the increased cycling and power demands. When replacement becomes necessary, these specialized batteries can cost significantly more than conventional batteries. StartStop technology has evolved considerably over its decade-plus history. Early versions had problems, including premature starter failure and oil starvation during restarts due to incomplete engineering. Modern systems incorporate more sophisticated components and control logic that address these shortcomings. As vehicle electrification increases, StartStop technology is evolving into more sophisticated implementations. Mild hybrid systems with 48-volt architecture represent the next generation of this technology, offering smoother operation and additional benefits beyond simple engine shutdown. Hybrid vehicles, particularly Toyota hybrids, employ more advanced systems with small batteries and electric motors to handle engine start-stop seamlessly, making the feature less noticeable and more reliable than conventional implementations. In full hybrid vehicles, the engine start-stop function is integrated into the broader hybrid powertrain strategy, making engine cycling less noticeable and more refined. From the research done and the experts talked to, the generally accepted target for component longevity with auto start-stop systems is comparable to conventional vehicles without the technology. Modern vehicles, with properly engineered start-stop systems, should maintain component integrity throughout their expected service life. While there are legitimate concerns about additional wear on certain components, manufacturers have implemented specific engineering solutions to address these issues. The real question is, what counts as ruining your car? If we define it as premature component failure or significantly reduced service life, then properly designed auto start-stop systems do not ruin your car. They may introduce different wear patterns and maintenance considerations, but they don't fundamentally compromise vehicle integrity when properly engineered. The trade-offs are real. Slightly more complex systems, potentially more expensive replacement parts, and for some drivers, a less enjoyable driving experience. But from the evidence available, auto start-stop technology does not ruin your car when implemented with appropriate engineering considerations. So there you have it. Auto start-stop systems don't actually ruin your car when properly engineered, but they do create different wear patterns and maintenance considerations. The technology represents a compromise between environmental benefits and driving experience that each driver must evaluate for themselves. If you found this breakdown helpful, tap that like button and subscribe for more in-depth automotive analysis. Drop a comment below sharing your experience with auto start-stop systems or which disabling method works best for your vehicle. Until next time, keep your engines running or stopping and starting smoothly.